Imagine knocking on someone's door hoping for a warm hug. You arrive full of hope, picturing smiles and joy on the other side. But when the door opens, there's no excitement. Just a forced invitation, a dragged-out conversation, and a rushed cup of coffee. No one says anything out loud, but you feel it, deep in your chest, that your presence isn't as welcome as it once was. And that hurts. It's painful to realize that not all family bonds survive the test of time. Many parents live their final years longing for a connection that once felt so strong, but now seems increasingly distant. They convince themselves with excuses like, they're just busy. Young people are like that. Or, I don't want to be a burden. But what happens when every visit feels like a reminder that you're more of a weight than a welcomed guest? How long can you ignore the obvious? If this feels familiar, take a deep breath. Because today's talk is a serious one. We're going to talk about those people, and yes, it might include your own family, from whom, as hard as it may be, you might need to step away. I'll show you how holding on to some bonds can be more damaging than letting go, and why sometimes the only way to reclaim your dignity is by creating distance. Stay with me till the end, because the final reflection might completely change how you see your place in other people's lives. My name is Gabriel, and if you've ever felt like you're always giving more than you receive, this video is for you. Let's start with a simple question. If someone you deeply love asked for everything from you, no limits, would you give it? Most of us would say yes, because we were taught that love means sacrifice, that true love expects nothing in return. But here's the twist. What happens when that love becomes an endless debt? When you give and give and give until there's nothing left? This is the trap of unconditional love taken to the extreme. Many parents accept being forgotten, ignored, sometimes even disrespected, all under the thought, they're my kids, I'd do anything for them. And so, the years go by while they slowly erase their own feelings and justify every bit of neglect, every silence. In the end, what's lost isn't just the relationship, it's their self-worth. Imagine a garden you've cared for lovingly over decades. One day, the roots grow so wild they start cracking the ground, destroying the very home you built. What started as care becomes a threat. The same happens with love that lacks boundaries. You end up forgotten in a corner, treated like an old piece of furniture no one needs anymore. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Life is not measured by how much you give, but by how much of yourself you retain." Loving someone doesn't mean disappearing. It's not about accepting coldness with a resigned smile. Wise love is giving without betraying yourself. Maybe you've lived through this. You go visit your kids with a heart full of longing. But there, you find distracted people, barely paying attention to what you say. They tell you, call any time. But when you do, the conversation is cold and short, and still, you insist. You keep going, you keep hoping, but sometimes your insistence only teaches them they don't have to try, that you'll always be there, no matter how they treat you. So here's a hard but freeing truth. Your love cannot be a free pass for others to treat you poorly. If every visit leaves you feeling heavier, if every reunion feels like silent humiliation, don't mistake patience for resignation. Love that has to be begged for isn't love. It's attachment. It's fear of accepting that maybe you're alone in this. But here's the turning point. When you learn to walk away, to stop knocking on doors that only open out of politeness, something magical happens. You start remembering who you are. Beyond being a father, mother, grandfather, or grandmother, you are a person who deserves respect, and real love never asks you to erase yourself. We grow up hearing that family is sacred, but sadly, blood doesn't guarantee respect. Some people leave without explanation. They forget birthdays, holidays, they treat you like an obligation, and still, you keep trying. giving chances, hoping for that warm gesture that never comes. But there comes a time when trying only brings more pain. Here's another Stoic teaching. Don't waste your time debating what it means to be a good person. Just be one. Sometimes being good doesn't mean accepting everything. It means knowing when to stop offering warmth to those who only respond with coldness. Respect is a two-way street, and if you're not receiving it, it's not because you don't deserve it. It's because some people never learned how to give it. You know that lump in the throat feeling? When you call and realize you're just being tolerated? When visits feel more like a chore than a happy moment? You try to be light, not be a bother to please. But inside, you're slowly fading, and when this repeats, you get used to it. To being ignored, to being set aside, to being the one who's always there. But no one really sees. That's the real danger. You start out patient and end up humiliated. Now we arrive at the third crucial point. Loneliness is not the enemy. Bad company is. Some people would rather be with anyone than be alone. But being surrounded by those who diminish you is far more destructive than being at peace with your own presence. Solitude, when embraced, heals, but the wrong company drains you. Seneca said, "The wise man can live alone, but welcomes good company when it comes." The goal isn't to shut everyone out, it's to know where you're truly welcomed and where you're merely tolerated. A child who sees you as a burden, a friend who only calls when they need something, a family that ignores your voice. What's healthy about that? You deserve to be where you are valued, so the choice is yours. Keep giving yourself to those who barely notice you or finally show up for yourself. Life doesn't end at 60, 70, or 80, but the way you choose to live it changes everything. If this video resonated with you, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear this too. And look, there's another video on the screen right now with a powerful reflection to continue your journey of transformation. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and never forget, your presence matters.